In today's video, we'll be unfolding the fateful story of a lovely young girl who was betrayed and hurt by those who were supposed to protect her from all evil.
The family of an Augusta teenager who went missing along with her stepfather.
And it's been a week and a half of sheer agony for the immediate family. Mother and uncle have come forward pleading with the public to help share this story so that their loved ones can be found.
I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping, I'm just worried about my family. All authorities to help my family get home.
I just believe she's in a situation where she can't get on the phone and call. It's almost as if it was premeditated.
Now Tripp says her husband has family there too. The door slammed and the two took off in the family truck, later found less than a mile from their home on Old McDuffie Road. Investigators say Leon Tripp was spotted at a Stop and Shop grocery in Atlanta 4 days after he left his Augusta home. As national media reports the story, some believe the father and daughter had a relationship.
Hi guys, welcome back to Crimeco, your go-to channel for some intriguing and incredible true crime stories. Before I continue with today's case, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notifications. So buckle up and get ready to go on a wild ride with us. Latanya Janel Carwell was a sweet 16-year-old girl from Augusta, Georgia, who excelled at school and was very loved by her community. She was an amazing student with several achievements under her belt and had a strong ambition to continue her studies in law, education, or even medicine. She was an innocent, straight-A student who was looking forward to her birthday, but her dreams were taken away. Latanya lived with her mother, Tanya Tripp, a younger sister, and her stepfather, Leon Tripp. They seemed like a normal blended family, so it wasn't unusual to see Leon driving or doing errands with one of the girls. The night of April 17, 2017, at around 1:30 a.m., Leon and Latanya left their home on the 3100 block of Tate Road to go and help a friend of his with his car who was stuck in Clarks Hill. According to Tanya, Leon needed Latanya's help with his cell phone GPS, though she didn't think anything else about the situation. Hours passed, and not a word was heard from them. They weren't answering Tanya's calls, so she got worried and reported them missing the next day, so an investigation began. Although it wasn't weird that Latanya went out with her stepfather, the whole situation seemed very unusual, especially since that very same day was Latanya's birthday. As hours passed, her family was getting more anxious and concerned about her whereabouts, and lots of questions were raised. Why would she leave without saying a word to her mother? Was there a fight between mother and daughter? And she asked Leon to get her out of the house for a while. The circumstances were odd, and one of her uncles, visibly worried, expressed his concerns about the whole ordeal. A few days later, after their disappearance, Leon Tripp was spotted on April 21st at the Stop and Shop grocery located at 785 Lee Street SW in Atlanta, but Latanya was not seen with him. This is where Tanya Tripp informs the police of some vital information she has been withholding. She states that there might be a chance they could be in Atlanta since Leon has family in the city. From that point on, suspicions about her not knowing where Latanya was began to surround the case. But then this case got weirder and weirder. A couple days after Tanya's statement about Leon probably being somewhere in Atlanta, his pickup truck was found around a mile from their home on Tate Road on April 26th. At this point, investigators are thinking that Leon must be driving between cities, maybe in order to cause more confusion about his whereabouts, and perhaps Tanya isn't being as honest with the police as she claims to be. Finally, on Monday, May 1st, 2017, police issued kidnapping warrants for Leon Tripp. For the investigators, it was very clear that something sketchy was going on, and they only hoped that Latanya could be found safe and sound in whatever situation she was in. In the following weeks, an unexpected twist left everyone shocked. Ever since Latanya went missing, her mother, Tanya, took every chance she could to ask for the safe return of her daughter. She went on and on in the news media about wanting her little girl back home. She always stuck to her story and said she hadn't heard from either her husband or her daughter again. But on May 23, 2017, she and Leon Tripp were arrested together at a DeKalb County U-Haul facility. It turns out that she never lost contact with her husband, and she was moving to Atlanta to be with him. Leon was arrested on kidnapping charges, while Tanya was charged with hindering the apprehension of a criminal. Sadly, Latanya was not with either of them, So the public's despair kept on growing, as now the worst scenario seemed the most viable one. Latania's disappearance prompted a massive search by volunteers, law enforcement officers, and community members. Unfortunately, there was no trace of Latania, despite exhaustive searches using every resource available. As the days passed, more information came to light about Leon Tripp. In the interrogation room, he stated that he didn't know where Latania was. He admitted that the night of April 17th, they were actually heading to Atlanta instead of Clarks Hills, just like Tanya told the police. At some point on the road, he gave Latania some money to get a bus and go back home, and that was the last time he saw her. Meanwhile, more details about Leon's past life came to light. He was serving a 6-year sentence in prison for aggravated assault, aggravated stalking, and theft when he and his wife got married, but there were also several more charges, including cruelty to children. When he got out of jail in April 2015, he moved to Tate Road with his wife and stepdaughters. In another weird turn of events, prosecutors in the case also filed a motion requesting permission to introduce evidence of additional criminal acts by the couple. Both of them solicited someone to kill the girl during September and December of 2015 and again in October 2016. Why would they want their daughter dead? By that point, it was crystal clear that this family dynamic definitely had some issues that they wanted to keep a secret. On March 8, 2018, almost a year after Latania went missing, human remains were found in a shallow grave on Golden Camp Road. Thanks to dental records, the body was identified as Latania Channel Carwell. What's curious about this case is that Latania's mother, Tanya, always defended her husband. She never doubted him, even though everyone had suspicions about Leon's intentions. There were several theories as regards Latania's disappearance, but the one that caught our attention was one about a possible relationship between stepdaughter and stepfather. When Tanya was asked about this theory, she made some odd comments about it that didn't sit well with the public. After the discovery of Latania's body, the Tripps were both indicted on murder charges and placed in Richmond County. Leon was charged with murder, cruelty to children, kidnapping, and concealing a death, while Tanya was charged with second-degree murder, hindering the apprehension of a fugitive, and concealing a death. Leon is accused of killing Latania sometime between April 16th and May 23rd by a means and manner unknown to the grand jury, using his hands and other objects unknown to the grand jury, objects that, when used offensively, result in serious bodily injury. The autopsy also revealed that Latania's limbs were bound. This poor girl went through hell until her last breath. Tanya is charged with second-degree murder because she allegedly caused the death of her daughter by failing to provide accurate information regarding the circumstances of the abduction of the teen. Latania's cause of death still remains unknown, as does what drove her to her death. Was it something she did? Was it something she saw and wasn't supposed to see? Was Latania involved in an abusive environment? Unfortunately, the Tripps never gave a clear reason, so this case leaves more questions than answers. 6 years have passed since Latania's body was found, and the people responsible for her disappearance and death are still far from trial. Both Leon and Tanya had pleaded not guilty, but if convicted, Leon could get life in prison without parole or death. Latania Channel Carwell's tragic case highlighted the importance of community involvement in missing persons cases and the devastating impact domestic violence can have on families. Thanks again for joining us in this story. Before you go, let us know what you think about this incredible case in the comments section. We'll see you again in the next one.